What's up, guys? I'm Nathan Brooks, and in today's video I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to be a better songwriter. Before we get started, I do want to explain that this video is going to be for beginners and people who just can't seem to gain traction in songwriting. Maybe you've been songwriting for a few months, few years, and it takes you maybe weeks or months to finish a song, and you just can't seem to get it all together to finish that quickly. This video is going to be for you. If you've been songwriting for a while, you probably know all this, and you can just go ahead and skip this video. It's fine with me. Alright, so let's get into it. Tip number 1 is we are going to pick a theme. Any great song that has ever been written has a central theme about something, whether it is love, lost love, losing someone, drinking beer on the back of a truck. Everything has had a theme, and so that's the perfect place for us to start. Something that helps me is I keep a notes app in my phone so that anytime I think of anything that I want to write about, I immediately put that in my notes app. So when I do get time to sit down and actually write a song, I don't have to pick that from my memory. I just have everything right there, and I can kind of go through and pick out which one maybe I'm feeling the best at a time. So we're going to pick a theme. We're going to put all of our themes in a notes app. So tip number 2 is we are going to storyboard that theme. So once you have your theme, take some time and map out kind of what you want the song to be. So if it is about love, maybe the first verse is finding love, and the second verse is having fun in that love, and the whole chorus is about, you and this person who are just having the best time ever. However it is, we're going to map that out before we play any chords, before we write down any lyrics, anything like that. We're just going to map out the whole song. And the map out should be pretty brief, just a one-line sentence of, this verse is going to be about this verse is going to be about this. This is going to help us once we get into our next tip to be able to kind of condense everything a little bit more so we can kind of free up our mind to really wonder. Tip number 3, and this might sound a little counterintuitive after the first 2 tips, but just go with me. So we're going to create a space to freely wonder about in our themes. And what I mean is we're going to pick up our guitar, we're going to play our piano, whatever you're using to put music to this song. We're just going to play, and we are going to sing just whatever pops into the top of our heads around this theme. So a good thing to do before this is kind of focus in on your theme, and if it's maybe a deep feeling, like let's try to get that feeling going, and then we just create a space and we just play and we sing whatever. It doesn't have to be coherent, it doesn't have to make sense. Some of the best lyrics that I've ever written was me just closing my eyes, I'm playing my guitar, and I just blurt something out and it just sounds incredible. I don't know where it comes from, it just kind of flows through you. So allow yourself, give your space and allow yourself to do that. A big tip that kind of goes along with this and will go along with everything that you are doing in songwriting is to record everything. Now, you don't have to have a fancy recording equipment, you don't have to have a nice computer with super great software. Everybody has a phone, everybody has voice memos. All of my recordings are on my phone in my voice memos. And every time that I'm picking up a guitar and trying to come up with something, I'm hitting that record button on the voice memos. It's the best way to just allow yourself to free up and say whatever you want to, and you don't really have to remember anything because it's getting recorded. So yeah, that is kind of a big theme, like everything needs to get recorded. But once you're kind of in that space and really pressing into your thoughts and feelings, maybe you blurt out something and you kind of just follow that trail. That is 100% the best way, in my opinion, to go about it. Is just give yourself some free space to make it happen. Alright, that's it for tip number 3. Alright, tip number 4. Once you have kind of allowed your space and followed that trail, and maybe you have something a little bit more substantial, couple lines in the first verse, like maybe like a really good chorus, when you're bringing all this together, you really want to focus on cohesiveness and making sure that all of it sounds the same. And feels the same. Like the story, you storyboarded it out, you've put in all your lyrics out. Like, you really want to make sure that from front to end that everything just makes sense. In my opinion, that's what music is. It's just telling stories. And so I think the biggest thing in tip number 4 is making sure everything sounds the similar and is telling the same story. All right, tip number 5. So by this time you should pretty much have a full song. Maybe it's taking you 5 minutes, maybe it's taking you a couple hours, but you should probably be close to finishing your song. The best advice that I can give you for this last step of songwriting is put that song down and do not touch it for 24 to 48 hours, maybe even longer. I like to give myself 24 hours because it's a quick turnover. But a lot of times when you're in kind of those long songwriting sessions, you can get kind of fatigue, and maybe you think that a line or a melody is a lot better than it is because you just want to be finished with it and you want to be done with it. Maybe you come back and it's just not that good. But you're never gonna know until you just let it rest, you let it breathe, let it do its thing. Maybe even start on another song, who knows? We're gonna give it 24, 48 hours, we're not touching it. And then we're going to do one final edit. This is not to say if you get this song in a studio or if you get this song in front of a peer that you can't edit it. But I like to give it one final edit and I just like to be done with it. This is kind of an extra tip, but some of the best advice that I was ever given is once you finish a song and once you put it out, the world is going to do what the world is going to do with that song. So give yourself some freedom to have a song finished, put it out. Maybe you put it out on YouTube, maybe you put it out on Spotify, who knows? Just like feel the freedom to just release that, and then we just focus on other things. We keep it moving, we keep writing other songs. The best song that you can always write is the one that you're writing tomorrow. There you have it. That is 5 tips of better songwriting. I'm hoping that you liked it. If you do, please leave a like and a comment. Maybe share with some of your other songwriting friends who may be struggling with finishing songs. Thank you so much.